Morning YouTube, it's Dale Skidmore Secondhand Tyres presents another day in the woods. Going to be doing some making some tools and hopefully go to making a stool of some sort today. I'm on my own. Cuckoo Pete's had to work, so I've come up here on my own. It's Friday morning, just about 20 to 9. I got up here nice and early, had a nice long walk up here, parked the car far away and had a nice walk up the lane to here. And when I got here, it looks like someone's been trying to improve on the shelter. It looks like maybe some kids have been up here and they've had a go at doing some more on our tinker tent frame. They haven't ruined anything at all. I just had to move away a few sticks that they've left leaning up against the frame, and everything is hunky-dory as we left it apart from that. So whoever it was that's done it is doing some improvements rather than wrecking anything, which is nice. Right, I'm going to get the tarp on the frame and I'm going to get the firebox going for a brew. I'm rather thirsty now. We'll see in a bit. Right, I've got the firebox set up. Got a brand new bit of kit to try today. The Zebra Pot 120cm. Thanks for advising me on that Ram Door 72. I'm going to load up the box and get it started. Got some shouts I want to do today. This morning I'm up to 79 subscribers. I'd like to mention everyone's name, but it's just not possible. But I should be doing some shouts through the morning, through the afternoon as well, of some particular people. But it doesn't mean to say that I don't appreciate what everyone else has done and said, and subscribing to my channel and the comments they've made. It's been incredible. I really am knocked out by it. So if I don't mention your name, it's not because I don't care about I've forgotten about you. It's because I'd spend all day up here mentioning people's names otherwise. Right, so I've got a bit of Vaseline and cotton wool and one of the wax and wood shavings balls. Chuck a bit of birch in there. Not very successful. It's part of my increase in subs. I think is down to John M.I. Woodsman, who shouted me out a couple of weeks ago, and people have been checking me out since then and subscribing, and likewise I've been able to check them out and subscribe to them as well, and made some contacts with some very interesting people. MI Timberwookie, who has a great line in designing stoves and cookers and cooking outdoors. Him and John get together and they go to some wonderful woods for camping. The thing that strikes me about the American side of things particularly is that there's a lot of oak forests around and the leaves are just crisp and dry, where over here everything sort of turns to mush in a few days, and make it quite hard to make leaf shelters around here, I think. Right, it's going away nicely. It's quite a nice bit of kit, this. I'm using I think it's a Dutch Army day pack, and it's just not quite big enough to get everything I'd like to get in it, if you know what I mean. But that's probably more due to the fact that I haven't sorted out exactly what I'm going to be I need on a day out. If I can get a tarp in there, and I've got a frying pan in there today. I didn't bring the tarp because I knew this lot would be up here, but I can get just about everything in there. But the water's, I carry the water in a separate bag with this kneeling pad and a grill. I mean, it's not heavy to carry all that stuff together, not by any means. Right, that's the first time I'm using this, so we'll find out if it's really as good as it made out to be. I took the plastic lugs off because apparently they melt, and as marked, Manland says you need to have a loose lid. You don't have a tight lid at home, you need to have a loose lid anyway. So I took those off. Fits nicely in one of the halves dividers of the day pack, and I can keep my brew stuff in there. Little frying pan. Yes, it's nice. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of tidying up and make up the fire bed again, and have a cup of tea. I'll be back to you soon. Well, that boiled more or less in about 3 minutes. It's unbelievable. That firebox sure is good. And the zebra billy is all right. It's a little bit hard to handle with some hot stuff in it, but I've got the gloves. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. It's all black now. Didn't take 5 seconds to do that. I'm going to enjoy a cup of coffee, Algae Zero of course, and then I'll get back to you in a bit. Well, so much for the shouts. It's a bit arbitrary really, because it appears I've left the list at home that I drew up, but I can remember pretty much most of them. The ones I've said already, MI Woodsman and MI Timberwookie, and Eagle John. He's a very interesting fella. Again, met him through MI Woodsman. Makes some very intricate cord-free shelter supports, and very good with, he's made some interesting things with paracord and wood as well, a swinging hammock, paracord and wood, which also supports the basher as well. And Hawkey 67, guy from Australia, just found him on YouTube, and of course the Essex boys, we go around with Mac Tightwad, all of those boys, like to say hello to them. Cheers boys. The Scots lads as well. Jack McCormack, who's an incredible young lad, and he's just got accepted for officer training in the army as well, so good luck to him with that. He's obviously worked very hard, and he's got himself a nice little job there. He's being paid through Sixth Form and University, and he's hopefully going to go on to big things. He deserves to, because he obviously works hard at what he does. And there's a couple of 3 other young lads who I've been watching on the YouTube who, it's incredible. They're just so talented and so, what's the word? Grown up. Something like that. Mature for their age. And who else is there? Oh, there's loads. There's loads. Like I say, left the list at home. Memory's not what it used to be, I think. But just being part of this community is amazing. I learned so much, and I'm able to do so much because of that. So cheers to everyone. I've decided as well, since I'm on my own, I'm just going to use the firebox today. I'm going to make, I've got a can of spam, some mushrooms and a couple of eggs, so I'm going to make myself a late breakfast and another cup of brown. I've got also add on the list of subscribers and people I wanted to shout out to a list of things to do today. I've got a bow saw blade, which I'm going to get a piece of hazel and make a bow saw, and then hopefully, if I can find the right bit of wood, I want to make a mallet as well. And then perhaps, if there's any time, I'd like to start making a stall of some sort, of little camp stall. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. I've got an idea of how to put some legs on, but we'll have to wait and see. And also, I thought I might look around for a nice Y and make a catapult. I've seen a few people using catapults, and I fancied having a go at that as well. So we'll see what happens. Well, not done too bad at all. I'm all set up and coffeed up, and it's 25 to 10. I've heard it's ever so peaceful here. You can't hear any traffic noise today. There's hardly any wind at all, and the birds are tweeting in the trees, and I've heard a woodpecker as well. And there's I think a gas gun going off somewhere over in the distance. You can hear that rumbling every few seconds for a few minutes. But apart from that, it's peaceful and quiet here, and it's nice and warm. Well, I've been out for a little walk around the woods, and I found that hazel. See if that will make a catapult. I'll take that home and peel it, and I think you put it in the microwave to harden it off a bit, and do a bit of carving on it, leaving it up, and see what it's like. Got to find some elastic then. It's at the foot of this big old beech. I wonder how long that's been here. Must be a couple of 100 years easy. This memory card is coming near to the end of its nearly full, so I'm just sort of using it up now before I change to a new memory card. It's dead peaceful up here. It's lovely. There's only really one path in here as well, and that sort of ends just behind me. That's as far as I've got. There's quite a few new bits of trees down after the winds we've had, so there'll be plenty of firewood through the year. I've actually seen the first holly berries for a long time. I haven't seen very many holly berries. It's obviously a mild winter, and there's still a lot of greenery around, and ferns even that are still green. I'd expect them all to have been died off by now. Right, we'll carry on our search for a bit of hazel for the bow saw, and get back to camp. Still a little bit early for breakfast yet. It's only 20 past 10. Get back to you soon. Right, I've come back to camp and I've lit the fire, in the firebox again for dinner. I'm got the mushrooms and the eggs and the spam out. I just made a cup of coffee again, and it took 6 minutes to boil the billy, so no time at all. In front of you now you can see a leather little swag bag or tinder bag, which I made having watched Ramdor 72 Richie make one. He used a lot harder leather. That's a piece of old sofa, leather sofa that I cut up and sewed together, and it holds a nice little, it's got a nice little volume to it. Just tuck it into your belt and pick up what you want. And there's my catapult again, and this bit of hazel I'm going to use for making the saw with. There's the saw blade. I'm going to heat it up on the fire to bend it a little bit more, but it's a curved piece to start with, and hopefully that will make a reasonable little bow saw, which I can leave up here. If you rub wax on the blade, it'll help to protect it, and also to lubricate it to make it go through the wood easier. And like everything else, I think this cuts best on the pull rather than trying to force it forward, but we'll have to see how it works. So I'm going to put me lunch on now. It's coming up for 11:30, so I'm going to have a nice little bit of dinner, and then I'm going to start doing some work. Get back to you in a bit. One thing I did forget was a spatula, but I think we'll get by without one. Remembered a couple of more names. Chris down in the woods, very nice guy. Seen some of his videos, his wild camping. He's just been out in the for a camp in about 3 or 4 days ago, and although I'm a great fan of Sandy's and Jackal knives, I've seen some videos from a guy called Adrian who trades as Chiro's Knives. He makes some fantastic looking knives with beautiful scales. There's lots of different hardwoods, rare hardwoods, unusual hardwoods, and combinations of them, and his knives just look fantastic. And Sandy's knives are brilliant, and so are these ones as well. It's amazing what you forget when you come up here. Forget the spatula. I've got these though. Got them from the local cash and carry the other day. Nice little tongs. Never seen any this small before. Of course, the main man to shout out is Cuckoo Pete, who sadly couldn't be here today. Just to let him know, everything's hunky-dory down here, apart from a few trees down, like I say, with the wind. We've had sort of like 70-80 mile an hour winds down here a week or so ago, but it's a lovely calm day today, peaceful as anything. If it wasn't for the camera, I wouldn't have nothing to say at all. As 21st century caveman, I've had lots of sort of back and forth messaging and such like with, commenting on each other's videos. Very nice bloke. Nice dry sense of humour appeals to me. I remember what I did with the list. It's in my other trousers. When I went to bed last night, I forgot to put it in this pair, ready for the morning. I was up about 5:30 this morning, and I said to Kath, I can go out up the woods this morning, or I can lay back in bed with you and we can share some time together. She said, you better put an extra jumper on, it looks cold outside. Oh, this is well up. I started it with one of those, I've seen people make them out of egg cartons, cardboard egg cartons, and I put a load of birch shavings and bits of birch bark in, and then filled them up with wax, and it burnt for quite a while, and got this stove started again, easy as anything. Pretty good, all these firelighters. I found that I've got some in my bag with a hexi stove, or what we call it, some zip firelighters. Just I'm going to give them a try sometime. But when I tried using them, when I used to use them for the barbecues, it seemed like they were almost fire resistant or fire retardant. They were never easy to light. But since I've gone over to using wood and wood shavings for barbecuing, I've had no problems whatsoever. But I thought I'd try this hexi stove because Jimmy had it, and I got some firelighters to try cooking with it. I understand it's a bit smelly, but I'll give it a go sometime and see what it's like. Make sure this is all nice and crispy. I was worried that maybe this stove might have been a bit too big, but it takes a pan like this brilliant. So it can't be bad. Donny Outdoors, there's another guy, American, fantastic fella, nice wry sense of humour, very matter of fact about things, don't make a fuss, just do it, you know, get on with it, which I like. Right, you don't really want to see me eating this, do you? I'll get back to you when I start doing the work.